The truth they buried beneath excuses is clawing its way back, demanding to be seen no matter who it shakes. Their silence was a temporary cage, but truth has already broken the lock and is stepping into the open. Something inside you already knows. What they hid is too big, too heavy, too loud to stay silent any longer. They underestimated how powerful truth becomes when it's been suppressed for too long. Every moment of silence they offered was another layer of guilt they hoped you wouldn't peel back. The truth they avoided is assembling itself piece by piece, preparing to reveal the full picture you deserve to see. Their calm exterior is cracking, and underneath it, the truth is trembling with urgency. The secrets they protected with silence are now turning into storms they cannot outrun. Truth moves quietly at first, but when it's ready, it erupts with a force nothing can stop. Their silence was an illusion of control, but the truth rising now will shatter that illusion completely. They never expected the truth to find its way to you, yet here it comes, undeniable and unfiltered. Behind every silent moment was a truth heavy enough to bend the air, and now it's finally surfacing. They hoped time would bury the truth, but all time did was sharpen its edges. Every unanswered question is about to be answered, not by them, but by the truth itself. The quietest truths are the ones that explode the loudest when their moment arrives. No silence can hold truth forever. Eventually, it breaks free with a clarity that cannot be ignored. The truth they hid is now a storm gathering speed, preparing to strike at the perfect moment. Their silence was a signal that something deeper was unfolding, and now it's coming to light. Truth doesn't need permission to rise, and what they hid is rising with unstoppable force. They covered the truth with silence, but now that silence is cracking open from the inside. The truth they feared is becoming the truth they can no longer escape. Every lie they whispered is trembling, because the truth they smothered is waking up angry. You sensed it all along. The stillness wasn't peace. It was a warning of the eruption to come. They hoped silence would numb your intuition, but it only made it sharper. What they hid in silence is aligning itself into a revelation so powerful it will change everything. The truth they concealed is gathering strength, preparing to burst into the world with piercing clarity. Their silence wasn't confusion. It was a confession disguised as stillness. You're closer than ever to seeing the truth they prayed you'd never uncover. Every suppressed truth eventually becomes a storm, and theirs has already begun to thunder. The truth they hid is preparing to introduce itself, and it won't whisper, it will roar. You can feel the shift in the air. Truth is rising, dragging their silence into the light. Secrets stored in silence always rot, and the stench of theirs is finally becoming impossible to hide. What they refuse to say is exactly what will reshape your understanding of them and yourself. Truth does not stay buried. It climbs, it claws, it demands to be seen. The silence they used as a shield is dissolving, exposing the truth they feared most. Every quiet moment was a clue, and now those clues are forming a truth too clear to deny. The truth they hid is unraveling fast, pulling every hidden thread into the open. Their silence has reached its limit. Now the truth is taking control. What they concealed is becoming too heavy to hold, and soon it will burst into the open. Truth isn't polite. It arrives with force, even when no one is ready for it. The truth they muted is becoming louder than anything they've ever said out loud. Every suppressed detail is piecing itself together, forming the revelation you were meant to see. Their silence cannot protect them anymore. The truth has already chosen its moment to rise. You're standing at the edge of a truth powerful enough to rewrite every chapter they tried to hide. What they hid behind silence is preparing to shatter the story they created. The truth has a rhythm, and right now, it's beating louder than their excuses. Their silence was a fragile wall. The truth behind it is a tidal wave ready to break through. They tried to outrun the truth, but truth is patient, and now it has caught up. Every secret they swallowed is rising like smoke, revealing the fire they tried to hide. The truth they covered in silence is expanding, stretching, preparing to burst open for all to see. You're moments away from witnessing everything they hid becoming impossible to deny. What they concealed will finally speak, even if they refuse to. Their silence has been a mask, but masks always fall when truth is ready to be seen. Truth grows stronger the longer it's ignored, and now it's unstoppable. The tension you feel is the truth pushing through, demanding to be acknowledged. The truth they buried beneath years of silence is rising now, shaking everything you once believed was stable and safe. You can feel it. Something hidden is cracking open, and the quiet lies they built are about to collapse loudly. Their silence was never innocence. It was strategy. And now every secret they hid is stepping into the light. You weren't imagining the tension in the air. It was the truth fighting to break through their controlled silence. They hoped silence would protect them, but all it did was delay an explosion that's now impossible to stop. The truth doesn't stay buried forever. It grows pressure, and eventually, it erupts in ways no one can ignore. You're moments away from seeing what their quiet glances, sudden pauses, and nervous smiles tried so hard to hide. Their silence wasn't peace. It was the calm before a tidal wave of truth they can no longer contain. Everything they sealed behind closed doors is unlocking itself, ready to expose what they silently prayed would stay hidden. The truth they avoided is finally louder than their silence, and it's about to rewrite every narrative they crafted. Their quietness wasn't confusion. It was guilt waiting to be discovered. And now the discovery is inevitable. Watch closely. The truth is trembling beneath the surface, begging to erupt through the cracks of their composure. Silence was their shield, but truth is the weapon that will break that shield into pieces. You're not losing your mind. You're sensing the storm they tried to muffle with carefully controlled silence. If you feel something is off, trust it. Truth has a way of reaching your intuition before it reaches your eyes. The silence they used as a hiding place is crumbling, making room for revelations they never wanted you to see. Pay attention to the moments no one talks. That's where the truth has been screaming the longest. The truth they covered in silence is unraveling, thread by thread, pulling their entire story apart. What they hid behind stillness is becoming too loud for the universe to keep contained any longer. Their silence isn't strength, it's fear wrapped in quiet desperation, and it's about to explode. The truth they suppressed is growing wings, ready to soar into the open no matter how tightly they tried to cage it. You're standing at the edge of a revelation that will reveal everything they never had the courage to admit. Every silent moment was a breadcrumb leading you to the truth they prayed you'd never find. Their silence was never empty. It was overflowing with everything they hoped you would never question. The truth isn't coming gently. It's arriving like lightning, fast, bright, and impossible to ignore. The lies they whispered are trembling now, because the truth they hid is preparing to roar. Even in their quietest moments, the truth was screaming, and now you're finally about to hear it. They underestimated one thing. Truth has patience, but it never stays silent forever. The truth they protected with their silence is shattering the walls they built around it. Soon, every unanswered question will find its answer, and truth will stand exactly where their silence once stood. They thought silence would save them, but it only made the truth louder when it chose to rise. A quiet truth is still a truth, and yours is about to make itself impossible to deny. The truth they hid behind closed doors is already unlocking itself. All you have to do is watch. Their silence wasn't loyalty or love. It was fear of being exposed by the truth they couldn't escape. Listen carefully to what's not being said. That's where the truth is finally revealing itself. The calm they've shown is a mask, and behind it, the truth is shaking, ready to burst into the open. Every lie they whispered in the dark trembles now under the weight of the truth emerging. Their silence was a signal, not of innocence, but of everything they were terrified you'd discover. The truth is pushing through their silence like light through cracks in a wall. Blinding, undeniable, unstoppable. What they hid with silence is rising with force, and once it explodes, nothing will return to how it was. Their quietness is breaking, and behind it, the truth is roaring with a fury they never expected. You're about to see the truth they feared most, the one they hoped silence would keep buried. Every secret dissolves eventually, and theirs is dissolving faster than they can control. Truth doesn't need a voice. It needs timing, and that timing is right now. Watch closely, because the truth is about to step into the room disguised as a revelation. Their silence has been cracking for weeks. Now the truth is ready to burst through completely. Even the quietest truth becomes thunder when its time comes, and that time is finally here. What they refuse to say out loud is exactly what will change everything when it surfaces.